Are you ready for round 2 of Q&A? Let's get started. Alright guys, let's just pick it right back up with the questions. Okay, so the next question says, I know your husband is probably your best friend. He is. But do you have a bestie, and what are some of the crazy happy things you do together? Well, Falcor's snorting because he thinks he's my best friend. But I guess other than Aaron, which we do a lot of crazy fun stuff together, I guess I'm gonna have to say Kevy because he's in the room and he'll be mad if I don't. No, but really, honestly, it sounds so cheesy, but my husband and my brother are my best friends, and Kevin and I do all kinds of crazy funny stuff together all the time. You see a lot of it in videos. We like to try weird foods, we like to travel, we like to have sister time and talk about boys and books and all kinds of stuff. But if we're talking about like people outside of my family, probably my bestie would be my boy Scotty. I love you and I miss you, Scotty, so much. And we did a lot crazy stuff that I could not say in this video. I'll just leave it at that. But he is my old college friend, my old college roommate, and has remained one of my best friends ever since. And I love him dearly and miss him like crazy. So, yeah, but in all honesty, it's my husband and my brother. And you get to see most of the shenanigans on this channel. And Kevin has his own channel, so if you want to see more of me on his channel, which happens, I'll link his channel. Oh, actually, his channel's always linked in my description, so you should check him out. Okay, so the next question actually is about Kevy too. It says, this question is for you about Kevy, in quotation marks. I'm the only one who calls him that except for, well, I started calling him that, Aaron called him that, now my dad calls him that, but I think that's pretty much it. It says, you guys are so close. Have you always been such good friends as well as siblings? I would say for the most part, yes. I mean, we weren't like super good friends when he was like a nerdy 8-year-old because I'm 9 years older than him. But I would say we've been pretty close since he became like preteen, teenager age. I am 9 years older, so we weren't close when we were really young, like as that, but we've always been close. Like we shared a bedroom when he was a baby. I helped take care of him growing up. And then when he was like 12, I was living in North Carolina. They moved down there for a year. Then my mom moved back. Kevin stayed and lived with Aaron and I for a year so he could finish out the school year that he was in. And ever since then, we've just been super close friends as well as siblings. So yeah, we've been close pretty much most of our whole lives. I'm actually close with all of my brothers though, but Kevin and I are definitely more, we're closer. We also live closer, but yeah, he's the closest thing I have to a sister. So he's like my sister, right? My question is, what is my most favorite Disney pin? This is a spoiler because I haven't showed it in a video yet, but it's my Judy Hopps profile pin. If you want to see that, make sure that you are subscribed and you click the bell because I will be posting that next week with all my new Zootopia pins. So my Judy Hopps profile pin is definitely my favorite. So this person's asking a really specific question about pin traders. The pin trader delight pins and how it works. I did do a video on how the Disney Studio Store Hollywood does their releases, which is different than pin trader delights. I will link that in the description below. So you can watch that video on how those work. There's about 2 releases a month, and that's how those work. It's a raffle system. And you have to wait in line for hours. But the pin trader delights are different. You just have to wait until they post on their website that they've done what they call a flip, which is when they put new ones out. And then they're low LE size, and you go and get them, and you can only get 1 per person, and you can get an ice cream with it if you want. I usually don't get the ice cream. And then you buy them until they're gone. And then they do another flip. So that's kind of how that works. Okay, so the next question is, if my favorite princess would be paired with a different prince, then who would it be? So I'm not really into Disney princesses. I love all the movies, but I'm just not like, I mean, really, we were just talking about it today. My favorite Disney princess is Vanellope. So I don't really have a favorite prince. I don't know. I mean, I guess my favorite prince would be Aladdin. I like him the best. He's cute. I think he's nice. He's got a good heart. But I don't know, I'm just really not into princes. I just watched Princess and the Frog for the first time the other day, and I really do not like Naveen. I don't know what the appeal is of Naveen, but I'm not interested in him. If I had to pick like traditional princesses, I guess my favorite would be Belle, and I would maybe pair him with Aladdin then, because I think he's my favorite prince. Okay, so the next question is, what made me decide to try Weight Watchers? Well, the honest truth is I tried everything else and I figured I've been avoiding this for a while. Let's just give it a shot. You know, and I kept hearing really great success stories, and it seemed really similar to calorie counting, which I had done before and was successful with. So that's what made me choose it. How did I end up in California? Okay, so we originally moved in California because I was accepted into a PhD program here. And so we moved here without ever visiting or coming here or anything. If you know anything about doctoral programs, they're incredibly difficult to get into. And if you're lucky to even get into one, then you usually go. The program was really, really great for what I was doing, and it was really exciting to do something completely different. So that's why we moved here. I didn't end up staying in the doctoral program, not because I couldn't hang, but because I just decided it wasn't the right thing for me, and I was really dealing with some really deep depression at the time. But we decided that we wanted to stay in California and make it our home because we love it here. So that's how we ended up here, and that was in 2012. We made a brief stint back in Illinois last year, or the year before. We were there for about 8 months when my depression was really bad and we needed to have like a break, and we moved back to Illinois. But as soon as I got better, we booked it back here to California where we plan to stay. And this person also added, we're considering an out-of-state move and I'm terrified. Don't be terrified, but at the same time, do things that terrify you. That's the best advice I can give anyone. Moving, I've lived, this piece of hair is just not cooperating today. I have moved several times in my life, always sight unseen, and I've never regretted any of it. I feel like if you stay in your comfort zone your whole life, you're never gonna grow as a person. So if you're considering a move out of state, do it. You can always move back. What is my favorite Disney movie? Zootopia. Do I display my pins around the house? I do display most of them, but I don't have room anymore on the boards that I have up, so I plan to put up more. And I'll show those once I get everything up someday. Who knows when that'll be. What do I use to display them right now? Just regular old cork boards from Michael's. But Erin is hopefully gonna make me some custom ones in the near future, hopefully. So, what are some situations in life where you had teachable moments? Thinking back, when did you say, wow, I'm glad I went through that? I know you've discussed a few situations on your videos. So, I don't know, this one's really hard. I've been through a lot, and I always learn from everything I do. I really try to look for that. The 8 months or so that we lived back in Illinois were so tough. Like, my depression and anxiety, my mental health was at the lowest it's ever been in my life. I wasn't working, I couldn't leave the house, I wasn't showering or taking care of myself. It was putting a lot of pressure on Aaron. Things weren't going well for him, you know, with other stuff, with work and stuff at the time when we transferred, and it just was like, it was one of the hardest things we'd ever gone through, but I feel like it really made me like have to focus on taking care of myself, taking care of us, and what we wanted, you know, for our future and what that looked like. And so even though it was one of the hardest times of my life, I really think that a lot of good came out of it. So, but I feel like I always try to get something out of everything that happens to me. But at the same time, I don't want to be cheesy and say like, I'm so glad that horrible thing happened, because there's a lot of horrible things that have happened in my life that I really wish hadn't. So, what are some valuable things I've learned since starting my weight loss journey? That I am capable and that I'm worth it. More about my younger years. Where did I grow up? How many brothers and sisters did I have? I grew up about 50 miles south of Chicago, and I have 4 brothers and no sisters. I'm the oldest too. Lots of fun. That's why I have all this white hair. Okay, so the next question is, who do I look up to and why? So the person that I look up to the most is my grandma Lois, who just died in January. She was like a second mother to me. I love my mother, don't get me wrong, but my grandma just really showed me what it means to have unconditional love, to take care of people, to feed them and make them laugh, and just really feel like there were times in my life my parents got divorced and my mom was a single mom, you know, and had to work a lot and stuff, and my grandma just really like helped me through a lot of that, and I really looked up to her because she believed in a lot of things, but she also believed in the good of people, and she didn't take, how can I say this delicately? She didn't take blind orders from anyone or anything, and she knew what was really right, and above all else, she knew that love was what really mattered, and I look up to her for that. What is one thing that I've never done before that, what would I do if I could? There's so many things I've never done before that I would love to do. I would love to travel to Asia. I would love to travel to South America. I would love to go paragliding. I would love to, I don't know, do a million things. And I hope to do a lot of them. Okay, next question. How often do I exercise, and if I do, for how many minutes? So right now, I mostly just walk, and that's at Disneyland once a week. I walk about anywhere from like 3 to 6 miles every week, but I plan to start incorporating more of that, including swimming this summer. When is my birthday, and where was I originally born? Like I said, I grew up about 50 miles south of Chicago, and my birthday is July 24th, so it's coming up. I'm gonna be 35. Have I ever used a step tracker or Fitbit? No, I just use right now the health app on my phone, which tells me how many miles I walk at Disneyland, but I do want a Fitbit. So if you have any recommendations for that, comment in the description. I mean, if you have any recommendations for that, comment down below. What age was I when I first went to Disney? I was 33, because it was last summer, right before my birthday. I actually technically went twice when I was little. I was 2 months old and 2 years old. I went to Disney World in Florida, but I don't remember either one of those, so they don't count for me. Okay, next question. Has my husband ever been, always been a Disney fan, or did I convert him? So it's a little of both. He's always been a fan. We've always enjoyed Disney movies and things like that, but when I started getting more into it, he started getting more into it too. So we've kind of done that together. So this question is, do I only go to Disneyland? Yes, I've never been to Disney World, but I would like to someday. Okay, so what's my favorite ride at the park? My favorite ride would have to be Haunted Mansion. And a pin that I have that holds the most sentimental value to me, that would be my Robin Hood heart pin. I should have showed these in this video, but I didn't. So it's my Robin Hood heart pin that has Robin Hood and Maid Marian, and it says love goes on, because it was a Valentine's Day gift from Aaron, so it holds a lot of sentimental value to me. Okay, next question. What are you eating while on Weight Watchers to lose weight? Ooh, I'm just eating less of the food I used to eat. I'm sorry, I wish I had a better answer. I don't have great recipes or things. I'm just trying to get through every day, so I'm just eating less and making like better choices when I can, but honestly, I need to start like getting healthier, you know, recipes and meals, but I'm just not really doing that right now. Just eating less food. What is my favorite Disney character? Maybe Dumbo, I guess. So a lot of these are like the same, asking me like my favorite Disney food or character or movie, which I've already kind of answered. But one is, what is my favorite song from that movie? So my favorite movie does not have my favorite song. My favorite Disney song is actually from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame, as you should say. And it is Out There by, it's like, now I'm gonna have it in my head all night, and my brother and Aaron are gonna hate me because I'm gonna be singing it all night, but it is literally my favorite song. And I actually think the score for that entire movie is fantastic. So yeah, Out There from The Hunchback is my favorite. All right, we're getting to the end of the questions here. When you first started, did you think you would still be doing this? I wasn't sure. I was really unsure of myself when I started making YouTube videos, but I've had such positive reactions and so much love and support and everything, and I actually love doing this. Like, I think about it all the time, what kinds of videos I want to do, and it's just so much fun for me. It's just a creative outlet that I can do. So yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep doing it, but now I know I'm gonna keep doing it because I love it. Okay, who was my biggest surprise viewer? I don't know if I've had any surprise viewers. Maybe like my family, I wasn't sure if they would watch, or like Aaron or my parents. Or, oh, here we go. my father-in-law. I know you're watching this, Ben. He watches all my videos. He has been a big fan and a great supporter, and I appreciate it. Love you, Ben. Okay, do I want kids? If so, how many? And would I love... Oh, and about my doggies. Okay, so no kids. Maybe we'll have kids in the future. We're not really sure yet. We keep saying that every year, and we've been together 15 years, so who knows? Maybe. If we ever did, I think we would want 2. But it's either gonna be 2 or nothing. So I don't know. Keep watching to find out, I guess. As for my dogs, love my doggies. This one's driving me nuts right now as I'm doing this video. And I do plan on doing a video about my doggies soon. Called Meet My Dragons, because that's what they are. They're my little dragons. Look at this little dragon trying to eat me right now. So yeah, I will do one of those soon that tells my story about my doggies. And in the future, would I want more doggies? The answer is definitely yes. But I need to have a house first with a yard, because 2 in a 1-bedroom apartment is enough. What is one of the biggest challenges of moving across the country? Being away from my family. That's the only thing I don't like about living, or the only biggest challenge about moving across the country was knowing I was leaving my family. If we're talking about literal money, it's expensive. What is my favorite vegetable? Are peppers vegetables? No, those are fruit, right? I love peppers. If peppers is a vegetable, I love them all. But I think they're fruit. So it would have to be onions. I love onions. I love white onions. I love red onions. I love green onions. So yeah, I guess onions. But I do love broccoli too. So, but definitely I think onions. I eat onions more than I eat broccoli. Do I reward myself for meeting certain milestones? Yes, I do. And they're usually food. I know, that's bad. I don't do mani-pedis and stuff like that, although I should. But I mostly reward myself with food. Maybe that's why I'm so fat. But I feel like if I don't have those rewards, if I know I'm never gonna eat those kinds of foods again, then I would never be able to stick to a diet. So I have to have those rewards. All right, and the last 2 questions are actually questions I kind of already answered. When are you having babies? Answer is, I don't know, maybe, never. Not sure. And why did I decide to move to California? I already said that for the PhD program, but why did I stay is a better question, because LA is the most amazing place to live. I have lived in Illinois, in Chicago like area, Southern Illinois, North Carolina. I stayed in Florida for a summer, and then being in California, I lived in like the IE, but now I live in LA, greater LA area, and I will tell you that there's no better place to live than LA. Nice weather, great people, always something to do, diversity. I mean, it's everything you want. So when people tell you that LA is not a great place to live, I question the people they're spending time with and the things that they're doing, because LA is hands down the best place, and I could not imagine myself being anywhere else. All right, guys, well, I think I answered all your questions. You'll probably come up with more later, and I'll do another one of these some other time, but I am exhausted. I never thought I would get tired of talking about myself, but I definitely am. So thanks so much for all of your questions. I hope that these were satisfying answers, and maybe you feel like you know me a little bit better now. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up because I think it's dinner time. I can smell the food. So thanks so much for all your questions, your support, watching this, yada, yada, yada. You know I love you. You know I'm grateful. So thanks for watching, and make sure to give this a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.